Hey, what's up, everybody? Jay Pounds here. It is the start of the 2021 NFL season, everybody. I am so excited. I cannot wait for Thursday night. We got the GOAT Tom Brady. We got Dak Prescott coming back. We're going to see what Zeke Elliott looks like. We'll see if that 6 year contract is going to pay off for some of you owners. Oh, man, it's going to be so much fun. I'm excited. I know you guys are too. This week we got the free agent auction targets, but before we get into that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you have not done that already. It helps Dynasty Owner out greatly. Guys, let's get right into it. Let's not make this a long one. We got football coming up. Man, I cannot wait. All right, let's go ahead and share the screen here. We got the free agent auction targets for week one. These are players that are going to be under $8 million or less. They are going to be owned in 65% of leagues or less. I'm going to try to keep the salaries less than 4 million, but there are going to be a few that squeak in here that are a little above, maybe a Keelan Cole, somebody like that. You will see one here this week that is a little expensive. You'll actually see two that are kind of more on the expensive side, but they're definitely worth rostering if you have the space or if you can create the space, especially if you're competing. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to share the screen here, half and half, so you can see my pretty face as always. And at number one, we got Tyrell Williams, wide receiver, Detroit Lions. 1 year, $4 million. He is 63.8% owned and dynasty owner. This is a kid that he's just been banged up, it seems like, the last few years. But over the last 4 seasons, not counting 2020 because he was out all year basically, he has had no less than 650 yards and 4 touchdowns. 3 of the 4 seasons was 5 or more touchdowns, and he has a season with over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns in that season. So he has shown that he can do it. He has the capabilities of being a very, very good NFL wide receiver, especially a fantasy receiver. The Detroit Lions have nobody to throw to. They got TJ Hawkinson and then a bunch of guys competing for spots, and Tyrell Williams is the clear number one there. And guys, where else are you going to get a $4 million number one wide receiver? It's just unheard of. Unless they're on their rookie deal, but he's not. He's on a 1 year deal. You can cut him freely at the end of the year. Go get the production while you can, guys. After that, as you see down there, we got Tyler Croft, tight end, New York Jets. 1 year, $2 million. He is 45.63% owned. Tyler Croft, he kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting the Jets to move on from Chris Herndon. They ended up trading him to Minnesota after the Irv Smith injury. I understand why Minnesota did it. I don't quite understand why New York did it. They don't have anything invested in the kid. It's a win-win situation. If he hits, if he loses, you're out nothing at the end of the day. So I don't quite understand why he was traded. I would have tried to let him grow with the team. He's still young, but it is what it is. Now Tyler Croft slots into a starting position in the NFL. He is now a starting tight end. That means he should be rostered in way more than 45.63% of leagues. He has shown he can be an effective tight end in the NFL. He's 6 years in, but his third season with the Cincinnati Bengals, he had 404 yards and proved to be an effective red zone target with 7 touchdowns. That was before the Joe Burrow days, obviously. So he's done it without top tier quarterbacks. I'm not saying Zach Wilson won't be, but he's not going to be this year. That just usually doesn't happen with rookies. But if Tyler Croft can provide, to prove to be a good safety net maybe for Zach Wilson, then he can be a reliable tight end 2 week in, week out, and he can definitely play on your bench every week. At $2 million, he's not going to cost you anything. You can move on from him freely at the end of this year, as you can with Tyrell Williams. There's no cut fee with a player that's going to get a new contract. So he's really not. He's not gonna bring you any risk. And you're getting production out of it. At worst, you throw him on your bench all year and get some high end weeks whenever he gets his touchdowns. After that, number 3, we got Cole Beasley, wide receiver, Buffalo Bills, 2 years, $7.25 million. He is 53.75% owned in Dynasty Owner. That number is really, really shocking to me. If you put him and Devontae Parker side by side, and you don't, and I didn't give you guys their names, and I just showed you their production. Cole Beasley was better in every single category last year. He's right around the same price. Yet Devontae Parker's 91% owned and Cole Beasley's barely over halfway percent owned in Dynasty Owner. I don't get it. He is on a very, very potent offense. Josh Allen looks like he's the real deal. I really do not expect any type of regression out of Josh Allen this year. There's no going backwards for this kid. I think the sky's the limit after what we've seen last season, and Cole Beasley's only going to be a benefit to it. He had 967 yards receiving last year. You don't get that if you're a slouch. He added 4 touchdowns in on it. I think it was 82 catches. 82 catches, 967 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And he's 50% owned at only $7.25 million. I'm not understanding it. If you're competing for a championship, this is one heck of a bench wide receiver and somebody that you can plug and play when you need to, and you can kind of pick matchups. Wherever the slot receiver or whoever has the best matchups. Whoever's weak against the slot, play Cole Beasley that week and just reap the benefits. Josh Allen seems to love him. He trusts him, and it's just a no-brainer here. If you can figure out how to get Cole Beasley on your lineup and you're competing for a championship, you won't regret it. Unless he gets taken over by Gabriel Davis or which I see Gabriel Davis taking over Emmanuel Sanders, and Emmanuel Sanders is probably not going to come out of the slot. It's going to be Cole Beasley. He knows the system. Gabriel Davis knows the system. Yes, Emmanuel Sanders has bounced around and he's proven to learn systems quickly, but I just think it's going to be, it's either going to be Emmanuel Sanders or Gabriel Davis on the outside and Cole Beasley staying in the slot. I really don't see another scenario there. But like I said, guys, Devontae Parker or Cole Beasley, it's Cole Beasley every time right now. Until Devontae Parker can prove to be healthy, those numbers should probably be flip-flopped. After that, we got Juwan Johnson, tight end, New Orleans Saints, 1 year, 1.39 or 1.3 mil. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, cat got my tongue there. 1 year, $1.3 million, 58.13% owned. Shout out to Bryce Williams here. He was on it with Juwan Johnson. He's like, when's he going to get switched to tight end? When's he going to get switched to tight end? Because he just didn't have the positional value at wide receiver. Now at tight end, this kid has the upside to be worth rostering. At only $1.3 million in a Sean Payton-led offense with Jameis Winston now at quarterback, who we know can sling it. It's just a no-brainer to roster him, especially for you rebuilding owners. He is definitely the scariest bet on this list, but he has the most upside by far. For me, if I'm contending that Juwan Johnson isn't somebody, or is somebody that I would definitely like at the end of my roster, just to see what happens these first couple games. If he doesn't show out, then you drop him and you lost $1 million or $2 million dynasty dollars, whatever. But at 6'4" tall, 231 pounds, he is going to be a mismatch all day long. And Sean Payton knows how to find mismatches, guys. After that, number 5, Steve Van Tassel special. No, I'm kidding. We got Austin Seibert, however you say his name. Kicker, Detroit Lions, 2 years, $695,000. He is only 56.3% owned in Dynasty Owner. And guys, I have had a horrible time finding kickers this year. I'm gonna make a run at the chase for the ring with at least 2 of my teams. Dobbins went down, so I'm gonna have to swing a trade after week 1 to really make a push there. But I'm just I want some of the owners in my league to, I guess, get a reality check and realize their team isn't as good as they think it is, and then hopefully they'll trade some assets away. But right now I'm kind of standing pat. Hopefully Javonte Williams does something in week 1. Otherwise I don't want to fall too far behind in the rankings because I don't want to pull the trigger on a deal now. But I feel like I need to wait till after week 1 to do that. But now that I've rambled on here, like I said, I've had a terrible time finding kickers. Yes, the pricey kickers there, and in every league you're going to find pricey options at every position except running back. Running back is the one position you will not find a pricey option on, and tight end, I guess. But kickers, they're there. Quarterbacks, they're there. Wide receivers, they're there. And it's just, I don't know if Steve hammered the 3 kickers into everybody's head so much that they're doing it, or it's just people are realizing that, hey, them couple extra points on my bye weeks really does help, and it's not a bad idea to have a kicker on the back end of my roster in case one of them get cut in the middle of the year or hurt or whatever happens. So Austin Seibert there, he was the kicker for the Cincinnati Bengals, so I'm surprised to see he's not owned in more spots just because of how cheap he was. He was cut for less than 24 hours. The Lions picked him right up. Now he's the only kicker on the Lions. So it just surprised me to see that he was at 56.3% owned. Definitely, if he's available, go out and get him, guys. At worst, you can trade him for a 3rd-round pick to somebody that needs a kicker that's competing. That's all I got for the free agent auction run. Week 1's here, guys. Can't wait. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys go get some of these players. They are going to help your roster. This thins out quickly throughout the year, so make sure you're on it. These first couple weeks are going to be important. Like I said, guys, please hit that like button. Make sure you comment and stuff on the video. It helps out greatly. Make sure you get at me at Twitter. My thing's down at the bottom. My handle's down at the bottom. That's all I got, guys. Enjoy week 1, and we will see you guys